All right, welcome back, everybody. So for today, we're going to do a simple Pac-Man game with 2 or 3 different sprites. So the idea is we want to have one of the sprites touch 1 or 2 other sprites and then have those sprites disappear. So what I did in a previous video is I set up a very simple up, down, left, and right joystick so that when the left arrow is pressed, Scratch the Cat moves to the -10 x-axis, and then if we touch the right arrow, he moves +10 on the x-axis, and same thing with the y, positive on the up, negative on the down. So I'm actually going to go in and I'm going to choose 2 new sprites, and I'm going to actually choose ball number 1, and then we're going to choose another ball here. Okay. So the idea is when Scratch the Cat touches the ball is going to hide. So we need a few different objects right now. Okay. The first thing is whenever I do a new project, I need to set up a reset. So for the reset, I'm going to go to events and I'm going to put in when a green flag is clicked, so that green flag right up here. When the green flag is clicked, then we're going to have Scratch the Cat reset, and then we're going to have the same exact reset for the ball 1 and ball 2. So in order to have that reset, we're going to make sure that Scratch the Cat goes to a very specific position, which is going to be right over here, and that's -181 and -63. So we can just put that go to x 181 and -63 right underneath the green flag. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to reset the point in direction, and then we are going to make sure if we go under looks that we are always showing Scratch the Cat, because technically we can hide Scratch the Cat and then he will not come back unless you actually put up the show button. Okay, so now when we click the green flag, he always resets to that position. It doesn't matter if we do all sorts of crazy things to him over here, he's always going to reset to that position. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to reset all graphic effects, and then we're going to make sure that the size is set to 0. So I always have this code somewhere at the very beginning, usually when the green flag is clicked. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this code and I'm going to put it into ball number 1, and I'm going to put it into ball number 2, so that way that same exact code is now going to be in ball number 1. There it is. And then ball number 2 is going to have that same code. The starting positions are going to be a little bit different, right? So if I want the balls to start over here versus up there, I'm going to need to put in a different starting position or a different go to X when the reset happens. So for ball number 1, I want it to start at 91, 144. So go to 91, 144 when the green flag is clicked. On ball number 2, when the green flag is clicked, go to, move it right there, 179, 148. And now it'll always show, no matter where we put it, they will always have a restart. Okay, that's my restart. Now, the idea is we want to move Scratch the Cat in some sort of manner so that when they touch, or when Scratch the Cat touches the ball, we want the ball to hide. So we're going to use a broadcast message to accomplish this. Okay, so after the green flag is clicked, I'm just going to put this code is automatically just going to be there. That's your joystick mode. So we can just automatically just put it to the left. Okay, but after we click the green flag, I'm going to have Scratch the Cat say hello, and then I'm going to have Scratch the Cat say, let's start. So now he'll move into that position, let's start, and it's going to then have a broadcast message which is going to send out a small piece of radio code throughout the whole entire universe over here, so that then when they receive the broadcast code, we will then enact other code on that side. Okay, so the Scratch the Cat is going to say hello for 2 seconds and then say let's start. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to events and I'm going to send a broadcast message, and I'm going to call this broadcast message start. Okay, what it'll then do is it'll send a signal to both ball number 1 and ball number 2 that they're going to start enacting code when I receive start, that these are going to actually move around. Okay, so I'm going to go into control and I'm going to repeat this movement until something happens. Okay, so in order to get these two moving around, I'm going to have them move 10 steps and I'm only going to have them turn 1 degree. We'll make it 2. Okay, now if the ball touches the edge, I want it to bounce off and then keep going in the opposite direction. So I'm going to use this if on edge bounce. Okay, so Scratch the Cat, hello, let's start, send that message to go, and then when we receive this message to go, it's going to enact this code, and we're going to repeat this code until, that's when we go to the sensing option, and where it says touching mouse pointer, if I click on this, we're going to say no, we're going to keep going until we touch sprite number 1, which is the cat. Now if I put that in here, we're going to keep moving until Scratch the Cat actually touches the ball. Once it touches the ball, then it's going to start continuing on with this other code, and my other code is going to be pretty simple. We just want to hide the ball. So if we were to start this, hello, let's start, that message sends off, and now the ball moves until it touches the cat, and then it hides. Again, now that I hit the green flag, remember each ball has a reset. So it's going to point in a direction, clear all graphic effects, set size to 0, and show. So that's where it did. I clicked the green flag and it showed up. Now, as the sprite 1, the cat does all of its thing, it sends that message out. I can then move the cat around to catch the ball, because now I have that joystick that was pre-programmed in there to move it. Okay, so if I go back to ball, I'm just going to show ball for a quick. Okay, I can literally take all of this code and just drag it into ball number 2, because it's the same exact thing. When I receive a start, I'm going to then start moving in some sort of fashion. So now both of those balls will move when it receives that start code. And there it is. Boom, done. Okay, when that ball is no longer there, then we are going to be finished with the game. So basically, the next thing I want to do is I want to have a backdrop change that says game over. And that's in the other videos that we are currently publishing. So as for now, that's a pretty simple Pac-Man game, right? We can even do it so that there's not really any movement, but it's basically just when I receive the start position or whenever I touch the sprite, then there's a hide function there. But the biggest thing out of this video that you need to know is that every one of these sprites needs a reset. That reset is all right here, and it's all when the green flag is clicked. And I usually put it at the very beginning of each sprite. I'll even put them in the backdrops too. Okay, so that's the end. That's how to make a pretty simple Pac-Man game. Go forth, definitely make these way more interesting. Put an interesting background in there. You can even put in some sprites so that there's some boundaries. But in the end, the simple code is repeat until touching that particular sprite and then hide.